It's Monday.
Happy Monday.
I'm working on looking at the camera because I don't look at the camera a lot because I look at me in the...
That's very narcissistic of you.
Yes.
How egotistical are you?
Hey.
I've got to look at you.
When are you going to rub with love, baby? That reminds me, we're in the 300 series. The 300
Yay!
series.
And if people know us, they know that
This is the best series because this is the Rub with Love series.
Somebody just gave me,
inchworm.
one of my best friends just gave me a doormat that said, hold on, we may not be wearing pants, which is, that you could go anyway. But since we work from home, that's definitely the case. And I love it.
We have worked naked.
Especially now that our kids are back in school. It's amazing.
Literally.
I don't get dressed until 2 p.m.
We were in separate rooms. How are you naked? Wow.
Why not?
Yeah. It's always fun to be dressed and then just walk in her office naked for no apparent reason.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
I tend to do that while she's on the phone. Just want to let you know.
My gosh. I turn around. I just turn around on my seat and stare at the wall.
And I'm all...
He goes, no.
Hey, baby.
Yeah. No, how you doing? Anyway, so obviously the 300s, it's kind of our genre. Let's talk about sex.
It's kind of our genre. This is a thing. But I wanted to review a little bit of what was the point. You know, like what's the point of...
What's the point of sex?
No, what's the point of the 100s and the 200s and the 300s? What's really the point? And so,
of the 200s.
In the 100, from the 100 to the 200s, and now beginning in the 300, like what's really the big idea of why we're doing it?
Hey,
so
Pinky,
what is the idea? What's the 100s about?
Why do you do this?
Because you've only been in every one of them with me, and I think you should just know what it was about.
The 100 communication.
Series.
It's about communication and getting along with each other and figuring out how to communicate and how to resolve some conflict. Wasn't that was kind of the 100? So
right.
Because
so
especially when you're newly married, or even if you just need to go back to the basics sometimes of how do I communicate with you? Because communicating with one person could be completely different than communicating with another.
I don't think you listen to the same 100 series.
Okay, then you tell us.
I'm joking.
Oh, genius.
So,
marriage guru.
Perfect. So, what was the 200s about?
Stop it. Lots of fun little things.
Right, but it was... Man, it's like I'm teaching someone that didn't pay attention during class. All of you! The 200 was about the practicality of marriage. 100 is do you know yourself, do you know your partner, let's know one another. The 200 is let's put some of this stuff into practice and work that stuff. Yeah, apparently, we're F student. Okay, so... In review, to move on to the 300s, that
what
really...
do you do with bad students?
Yeah, it's bang up.
See, I can be this way now in the 300s.
Okay. The big idea between the one... I'm trying to get this out.
Okay!
All right, now I'm going to rub my eye. There's an eye booger for you. Okay.
Rub it with love.
So, the 100s and 200s are really about knowing yourself and knowing your spouse. And as we move into the deeper part of marriage... The deepest part of marriage is your partner wants to be known by you, fully known. And I want to be fully known by her. And that means...
to have someone know you,
and
really know you.
And it's kind of like everything. And a good example that I like to use is, to know her, she told me all of the dirty or all of the skeletons in her closet. She's told me them. And I've told her all of the skeletons in my closet. And now that we know one another... We open a closet and throw all the skeletons in together because it's our closet. You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. You know, because through the relationship and through years of being marriage, being together, there are going to be some things that you hide and have worked through, and you just don't go out telling everyone all of your stuff.
Exactly.
That's the stuff that you too put in your closet, and that's the part of being known.
Yeah.
And the same thing is that same kind of comforting feeling when you come home from being out anywhere. Home is known. You know everything in your house.
That's good.
Where it's at, what's going on, what it should be doing, the dirty part that you never clean up. You all know it, and it's comforting, and it's home. And you can't really go from the practicality of marriage and understanding how to get to know one another and then go into talking about sexual intimacy and all that without actually stopping and saying, hey, this is really about being known. When we get intimate and when we are intimate, I want her to know me in the most intimate way.
Yes.
And I want her to fulfill me in the most intimate way. And I want her to feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's about knowing me. Even if it's a weird
more than
sex
anyone
thing.
else knows
Right.
him.
Yeah. Even if it's a weird sex thing that only you and your partner are into and none of your friends can actually understand it, it's about knowing one another.
Yeah.
It's not about the actual weird sex thing. And so we get so caught up on, hey, you know, they're spanking, they have safe words, they do toys, they do all this other stuff. But it's honestly about knowing one another. It's not about the act of having fun or setting up a scene or all of that stuff that we can kind of go into. I want to make sure that it's about being known. And that is the desire that we were created with from birth. We are always created to be known and to relish the fact that someone really knows us.
Yeah. And what a beautiful thing that is, to be known and have it to be a non-judgmental, non-shameful, a fully trusting place. And that's where I feel marriage should be. All marriages should be that. And they're not. I know that. I mean, we've talked to people. That would be nice. Yes, because we all want to be in that safe environment that feels like home just because you're there, because you know me. I feel comfortable. I feel safe. I feel like I can trust you with everything. It doesn't mean you have to do every crazy thing that this person wants you to do just because they want you to be known.
It does.
Not what we're saying. But it is that known, and you know what? I love you. I love you anyway. I love you in spite of your flaws. I love you in spite of your
I love you because you need a safe word.
But that really is it. And no one else should know you that well other than your spouse. And when you can get to that point, sex becomes a byproduct. Sex is now a beautiful connection of that because now this person knows me. I want to please them. They want to please me. And this is something that only two married people can experience and really should experience because it's beautiful. So many things in today's society, you have sex first and then you might get to know the person.
Which is stupid
totally
and backwards. Yeah.
Because then you're not knowing them.
And there is no safe place.
There's no safe place.
And
You're not safe.
And that's why you can't ask for the weird thing that you may like because you're not safe and there isn't a known thing.
Yeah.
And that being the known is, again, the byproduct. And that's why you can get really freaky in bed because it's about knowing one another.
If you want to. Don't say that's let me have to.
You have to.
No.
You have to. No. but that's what we really wanted to say. We wanted to review the 100s and the 200s to really break it down to that one simple point. Does your spouse know you? And honestly, if you think deep down inside, you really want them to know you. Because when you have the known as a household, then your kids feel amazingly safe to vent, to yell, to scream, to let down all of their guards and just be known.
Yeah.
And so this is #known.
That's good. No, that's really good. And yeah, so we're gonna be delving into this, and obviously, if you followed us for a long time, you know we talk about sex. That is kind of a big thing because nobody's talking about it. It's everywhere, yet nobody's talking.
Nobody talks about marital sex. Everyone talks about affair sex or premarital sex.
Or you see it on movies. You see it all the time. We're talking about it without
healthy
shame.
Marriage sex.
Healthy married sex.
Speaking of healthy marriage sex, you got a thing coming up.
I do. If you are local and you'd like to go to a pure romance,
Marysville, Washington. So, like, if you're in Everett, Seattle, if you want to drive, that's fine
sure.
too. Come on down.
Yeah, feel free to come. We would. No pun intended. Sorry.
I'm gonna fall off my ball.
Wow. We're in that mindset. October 27th, 2019 at 4 p.m. Private message me if you'd like an invitation. I'll tell you where it's going to be. It's a pure romance, which means it's fun stuff. It's sexual health. It's lubricants.
It's a Christian sex party.
Kind of. I mean, we're not going to be doing anything that's we don't endorse pornography or any other people in your marriage or anything like that. So this is purely healthy. It's going to be fun. We're going to have appetizers. We're going to laugh a lot. It's going to be awesome. So if you're interested in getting an invitation, let me know. And of course, next Monday, we're going to jump right in and talk about the nitty gritty. And yeah, like you said, we've talked about this longer, in the past, but we're really going to go through
and the 300 series is going to be a little different in the fact that some of the things are going to be public and some of them aren't.
Yeah, so if you haven't joined our
private group, please join our private group.
They'll all be posted.
We'll accept everyone. It's just the fact that when we're talking about some of the weird sex things, then we want that to be private.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because kids are on Facebook, or
Yeah.
technically
But
they're
you
on
can-
TikTok.
But you can always go to our website, HaveAMarriage.com. Most
Yep.
of our videos are up there.
All of our
YouTube
videos
channel.
there. We have a podcast and
Twitter.
search for Have a Marriage. Twitter. I'm trying to get more disciplined and sending this everywhere. This is really difficult. If you have any questions or having any issues in your marriage and
Especially
need
with
some coaching,
sex, let us know.
we
will anonymously answer and
Yep.
talk about those questions.
we will
those
call
problems.
you and talk to you privately because it's your marriage. It's not our marriage, and we want you to evolve your marriage into
You don't have to
knowing
have our
one
marriage
another.
just
Yeah.
to...
Yeah, nobody
have
wants
it.
our marriage. It's weird.
I want our marriage.
Yeah, you just want to rub it with love. All right.
Okay, we love you, and we will talk to you guys next Monday.
All right, and touch one another.